Hi, welcome to the Women's Day special of the Property Show. I'm Jayashree Kurup, I'm editor MBTV, and I have with me Reeza Sebastian. Reeza,
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi Jayashree, very happy to be here.
Women in the real estate industry. I think you are an inspiration to a lot of youngsters today who are aspiring, who are working very hard in this industry.
Correct.
So help me track your journey.
I joined Embassy Group as part of the real estate team way back in 2001, right? So it's been a good 18-year-long association. But before that, I was in the software industry doing marketing support for them. And when I met the CEO, the then CEO of Embassy Group, I was asked if I could join the residential sales team, and they had started off, actually Embassy was in the throes of launching a new residential project. I wasn't sure, right? I wasn't sure. I said, I have to think about it. And this went on for months. Overnight, he actually made an offer letter for me, and he asked me to move jobs, move industries. So we started off as a team of 3 people in the residential sales team. End of 2005, I actually quit Embassy and followed on to work at an FMCG company. That gave me an exposure to something entirely different. In the year 2008, I relocated back to India. I was blessed with babies, twins. In the year 2010, I walked into the Embassy office and was told, we've done nothing in residential for the last 5 years. We need someone to actually take the bastion forward. As you know, Embassy started off as a residential player, but because of this hiatus, commercial actually started taking center stage. Today, I oversee the entire bandwidth. It's not that the journey has been easy. It came with its own struggles because you are balancing both work and, I had 2 small children at that time. But I think, at every given opportunity, I worked hard at the opportunities that were given to me.
What is that special something that a woman brings to the job?
The woman is creative. She brings a very different perspective to how the dynamics work, especially in real estate. There are days then you would feel that, it's a challenge and I want to give up. But being able to stay true to that space and being able to develop a circle of influence around you and to build a support system. Without a support system, it's not possible. And pick your battles. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I mean, you cannot be perfect. As soon as you acknowledge that and you believe that it's not possible and it's fine to let go, some days are better than the rest.
Women come with the inherent advantage. They multitask. Have you felt the same?
100%. It can be that, my children come back from school, I can be in a boardroom meeting and, they call me, right? They call me to say, I'm back, I've got homework to do, I've got something else that's coming up. But it's interesting because I do make it a point to pick up that call, because it gives me that satisfaction that I'm maybe at office, but I'm giving them a listening ear.
At the workplace, don't be hesitant about saying that, yes, I'm a mother too, and if my child calls, I will be picking up that call, but that doesn't take away from my work. It doesn't
take away from anything, right? And I would say that your work will finally speak for itself. One thing that organizations should do is the fact that, being flexible as far as a woman is concerned, because she is leaving a family behind before she comes to work. Being able to be flexible, because finally at the end of the day, if she delivers on what her objectives are, I don't think there is anything to complain.
There is a perception that sometimes women bosses are the most difficult ones to put up with.
Being appreciative of the work they do, being open about, I have a pretty much an open door policy as far. I hardly keep my cabin door closed. Just being able to engage with them outside the workspace as well, helps to build that long-term relationship. But it's not always happy conversations. Sometimes you have to have the tough conversations when you're expecting people to push beyond the boundaries. I don't think we can judge it based on gender. I think it's based on how the individual is actually.
Increasingly, the role of a woman as a buyer and her contribution to that purchase is also increasing. Have you noticed a change in the conversation?
I read a very interesting report, Jayashree, which said that, there is about 28 trillion of consumer spending that happens around the world, and 80% of it is controlled by women. Not necessarily in real estate. From an India context, you say that 74% of women actually play a role as an influencer or a contributor in the entire real estate transaction, of which 32% are single women, right? So she's remained a silent force to reckon with, but the dynamics of today's India are changing. Women are putting off their marriage decisions. They are trying to gain financial independence, right? And today they seek that investment and security. And we are seeing that trend in the way the entire product is shaping up, how the industry is shaping us as well. There are many factors which actually contribute to this, and one is the fact that about tax benefits, right? Even this housing for all by 2022, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the woman has to be the co-owner or the owner itself. From a bank loan perspective, there's an offset of about 0.25 to 0.5%. And the fact that, from a husband's perspective, also keep aside the single woman who's actually making the decision for herself, being able to secure the wife for the long run. I think, the changing dynamics around that will help to keep pushing this entire decision of buying a house for a woman or a woman buying a house for herself forward. And it's not an industry, or it's not a segment that we can ignore anymore, or even how a product is designed, for instance, right? How we actually orient the entire spatial orientation in a house. How can we cater to the single woman, so to speak? So I think the whole industry and the dynamics is changing around the entire women's story, and it will be very interesting to see how developers actually take this forward. 48% of women today are the ones who are actually engaging with us today on, for example, on online domains, right? So they start off the conversation. We are actually talking to the millennial population, for instance, someone who's anywhere above 25 to about 35 years of age. Again, that's largely women who are actually involved with us in conversations.
So there you are. We're talking about a person who has worked in the workforce, who has made her mark, moved out, come back again, had her children, raised the children, and still taken the group to greater heights. And also how you as women feature in the home buying cycle. Thank you for watching.
Please subscribe to Magic Bricks on YouTube and click the bell icon to get new videos.